I'm ready. Weather extra time. Here we go. 9:30 is the time. The newscast at 10. I got time to talk about the weather. Just let me know what you're thinking, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. I'm going to go through the forecast with you. I am ready to talk, too. I don't know if you all watched the 4 o'clock, but we had some heavy rain in northwest Alabama. I got an update on my phone. There was like a convective discussion going on, and so I turned the IFB down at like 2:04, and I wanted to read this thing. Well, it ended up being really long, and by the time I got to the halfway point on my little read, the show had started, and I didn't know it. And Liz is like, Jeff, you going to talk? I'm like, yeah, hi. It rained today. More coming up, Try to act like it was cool, like I meant it, but I didn't. But that convective discussion came out. It was like a talk about excessive rainfall, and that leads me right into what happened today. There were some areas today, parts of the area. Everybody had rain today. That was nice, but not everybody had the same amount. There were some areas that had like 0.1 and 0.2 or a little light rain. And then there was areas that had over 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. So it was feast or famine for sure. And there was, I think when Jada was here this morning, there was a flash flood warning for Moore and Franklin counties in Tennessee. And then when I was working at 4 o'clock, there was one for Western Lauderdale and Western Colbert County. And there was some pretty impressive rainfall totals. I'm going to show you that graphic in a moment. But first, the temperatures. That's another thing, too. How crazy was that? So areas that had rain all day never even hit 80, I don't think. I think areas in Sand Mountain and Lookout Mountain stayed upper 70s all day. And the only time that like Decatur, Athens, and Huntsville hit 80 was when the rain moved out and there was a little sun while it was raining west. And then in the Shoals, it got up to 87. And then when the thunderstorm came, it dropped to 73 in like 10 minutes. It was crazy. So right now, we're all together now. We're all in the 70s. And everybody has about the same temperature from west to east and east to west and north to south and south to north. Satellite and radar, you can see the rainfall thinning out. There's still some clouds. Still a really good look tonight for the Perseid meteor shower. We had clouds last night. It was a tough go to see it. Probably going to be the same problem tonight if you're out and about late. Best time to see it's after midnight to the pre-dawn hours. I think you look off to the north and east is the best way to see it. But overall, it's a great show usually, but because it's timing out with essentially on the heels of a full moon, it makes the views not as good, and a lot of cloud cover will not help either. But it runs until the end of the month, so you have time. So what this rainfall total graphic is, I'm going to pull it up so you can see it better, okay? Whoops, I'm going to mess this up. There we go. First off, let me see who's on. Hi, Carolyn Andrews. Always a pleasure to see you on. I hope all is good. So how you interpret this graphic, I don't put a legend on it because I put numbers into the graphic, and I do that on purpose. I think the legend makes it more confusing. So since midnight last night, the areas in red, pink, and yellow have had the most rainfall. And you can see that there's clusters of some really significant areas of rain, right? So obviously what sticks out like a sore thumb is that Franklin County up in Tennessee and northern Jackson County, where there was some really heavy rainfall. There's another band of rain near the Ardmore Twins. And then there's another one out northwest. And then you got that little pocket near Arab and Albertville. Let me go ahead and I'll put the numbers in for you. Bam. Come on now. So that's estimated rainfall totals by our graphic, right? Yeah, there's some 4-inch amounts up in the northeast area of Alabama and Franklin County in Tennessee. And that's just to the west of Chattanooga, where they had flash flooding in Chattanooga yesterday. And I know that there was some really bad flooding along 24 today, too, in Tennessee. So, yeah, not good. A lot of rain, too much at one time. But we need the rain, so it's a trade-off, right? And then you have that little pocket there by the Ardmore Twins. I think 4.1 is a little high. I would probably think that's more like a 2. But nonetheless, a scattering of areas that have 2 inches of rain. And then you have Decatur, much of Athens, and Huntsville, where we had like 0.1, 0.2. So, obviously not evenly distributed. But the difference was that we certainly had more in the way of rainfall for more locations today, even if it was just some light rain for you. So that's good, right? Worked out well. Hi, Kaylee. Good to see you on. That's like 4 exclamation points right there. That means it's a really good day. Congratulations, too. Thank you for sending me the picture yesterday. I appreciate it. You are on your way to becoming a meteorologist. Isn't that pretty cool? I got that right, Kelly. Lisa, thank you, Jeff, for the update. You're very welcome. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So I put mainly dry, and I had a little rain icon there. I should probably take that out. There are a few showers, and I put mainly dry because there are a few little showers left over out west that are just trying to make it over the Mississippi-Alabama state line. They may fight the good fight here for a little while. So I would put mainly dry, patchy fog overnight, morning commute tomorrow, watch out for some fog. And once the fog burns off, we'll eventually pop some sun, and we'll also pop some storms in the afternoon. I don't think the coverage tomorrow will be quite as much as today, but there's still going to be some pockets of heavy rain. There'll be the haves and have-nots where some people, or some locations, I should say, pick up pretty good solid rain, and then there'll be other areas that just say, well, I didn't get anything again. This is your last chance, though. You get 3 strikes in baseball, and then you're out. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then we're done. And then it dries out significantly for Friday and the weekend, and it's going to get really hot again, everybody, too. I just want to talk about Aaron for a moment. I came into work, and I was somewhat surprised how many people were asking me if the rainfall today was from Tropical Storm Aaron. Let's just kind of make sure we're all on the same page here. Aaron is way out in the Atlantic. Way out in the Atlantic. And it will likely strengthen, become hurricane status sometime Thursday night into Friday morning. And at that time, as it moves west towards the Leeward Islands, it's in an area that's conducive for more strengthening. And it could become not just a hurricane, but a Cat 3 hurricane. When it becomes a Cat 3 hurricane, that it is considered major hurricane. It's the 5th named storm in the Atlantic, first hurricane of the year. And at this time, the forecast models have it coming very close to Puerto Rico, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and lifting just north of the Leeward Islands, and then taking a turn north. But by that time, that is next Monday, is where that graphic has it. So a lot can change. And if it goes a little bit more south and starts to have an impact more on the islands, that will be a concern. Usually with a track like this, it tends to be the weaker side of the hurricane that hits those islands, but still something to watch very closely. And then where it goes after that, probably a bit north and then swings around the Atlantic. That will make national news because it will cause a whole bunch of bad rip currents on the beaches, and they'll talk about that nationally for like days. So a friendly reminder, the tropics are active with a named system. Does not appear to have any influence in the Tennessee Valley at all at this time. And certainly not the cause of the rainfall today. So I had literally like 50 messages today in my box saying, why didn't you talk about the impacts of Aaron more for our area? This seems to be a lot of rain. And I was like, at first I didn't even understand what the question was. I'm like, Aaron? Like, who's Aaron? And then it hit me. Oh, I think the tropical storm brought this. So we fixed it. We're good. I'll pop the 10-day up for you so you can see it. There you go. Kaylee says, yes, it is. And I haven't been able to watch for a while. I'm always working now. I'm actually working right now. Hey, don't get in trouble, Kaylee, watching Weather Extra at work. I don't want anybody getting in trouble. But I do appreciate you being here hanging out, though. Behind the scenes, I'm drinking some hot coffee because I'm a little sleepy today. So 10-day forecast. I popped the scattered storms tomorrow. Like today, everybody, that 90 you see for a high temperature. If the storms hold off later in the afternoon, yes. If the storms fire up in the morning or late morning, some of you won't even come close to 90 like today, where some areas didn't even make it to 80. Isolated storm chance for Friday? Yeah, not much. Low 90s, hot, feels like 100. And then Saturday and Sunday gets really hot. I bumped it up to mid-90s now. We were like 93, 94. I went 95 both days. And it will probably feel like 105 both afternoons. So look for a possible heat advisory issued for the Tennessee Valley. That would be for Saturday and Sunday. It might even have one for Monday too. Doesn't look like much rain in that stretch from Friday to Tuesday. And that's going to allow more sunshine, hot temperatures, humid. We're right back to that mode again where it's very uncomfortable outside. And you'll probably have some heat alerts for at least 1 or 2, maybe all 4 days. I don't know what they're going to do yet. And then a pattern change comes. It looks like by the middle to the end of the next week. That also includes next Friday, which is the first weekend or first Friday of high school football games. I talked with Carl about it today a little bit, and I said, I got to keep an eye out for some thunderstorms because you can't have lightning when you have football going on. They'll take the kids off the field, of course. but it does look like a cooler pattern. So fine-tuning the end of next week and how the rain plays out, and if it's day, night, if it falls more on Thursday or Friday, and then it looks like it will drop the temperatures a bit. Maybe not like cool us off, but it'll like get us into the 80s instead of 90s, which will be a little bit better. And gives us another chance for some rainfall, which is not bad. We could use it for sure. For sure. Whoa. Hi, Shannon. Good to see you. I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate you asking. I hope you're having a good day. Shannon, you have some rain today? I imagine so. Yeah. Thought it was a good rain day. Thought it was a very good rain day. I was very excited to see more consistency. At least there was rain falling in areas that haven't had anything, so it was good. And I figured Tuesday and Wednesday were going to be your top 2 days. I really think tomorrow the coverage is going to lack, but still some downpours though. So if you get one, it's going to really rain. But I don't think the coverage will be as much as today though. Oh, we're closing right now. I'm a server at Huddle House. Gotcha. Hey, closing time is good. I was going to sing the song, but that's not for that. Wrong time, wrong place. Nobody wants to hear Jeff sing. But good for you. Your day's almost over. You can head home. That's awesome. Hi, Tegan. How was your day? My day was good. I appreciate y'all asking me about that. It was good. I mean, I wish I was a little bit more awake at 4 o'clock where I was actually ready to go on camera when the show started. But other than that, I feel pretty good. I feel good about the forecast. So that worked out all right. So that's good. Glad everybody got a little rain. That makes my day because everyone was very happy about the rainfall. Very happy. Lisa, I'm up in Fort Payne. It's been muggy. Yeah, Lisa, it is very muggy outside. That's Carl singing, by the way, everybody. There he goes, still singing. So one thing you can have is you could be very humid and not hot. A lot of times people think you have to be hot to be humid, and that's not the case. So today, our temperatures were around 80 or some mid to upper 80s, depending on your location. The one constant we all had all day long was we weren't 90 plus, but we were still dew points in the mid 70s. And that's a great point Lisa brings up was it's been muggy. It is incredibly humid. So what happens today is you don't go 90, but you're still like really humid with an 80-degree temperature. And when you have all that humidity in the air, any kind of showers or storms that fire up can be big-time rainmakers. And we had that happen today. We had a lot of heavy downpours in the morning. Jada was covering it in the morning, and then we passed the baton to me to move it in at night, and I tracked some heavy rain in northwest Alabama. And anytime you have that mugginess like that, it can do that. Definitely. Shannon says, that's great. I'm glad you had a good day. Mine was good as well. Good. I'm glad it worked out. Wednesdays are great. It means you're downhill. Rest of the week done. Thursday, Friday, done. Weekend's here. We're almost there. Hi, Grace Mason. Good to see you. I hope all is well. Good evening to you, and thank you for watching Weather Extra. I still got some more time, so I'm going to put the 10-day back up so you can see it better. Plus, I can take a sip of my coffee. I'm hiding my coffee from you all because it's not in a normal coffee mug. It's in a styrofoam cup. I am slacking. Albert's on from Texas. Hey, welcome in. We could be national. We could be international. We can roll with anybody who wants to come in for Weather Extra. I think it's fantastic. Albert, thank you for joining us from Texas. I think you're a little hotter than we are in Texas right now. I don't know. I don't know what part of Texas you're in. Texas is big, so I don't know. What happens in Amarillo doesn't happen in Houston. So, but I get you. So we got a break from the 90s today, but I don't think we're going to hit 90 tomorrow. I should really drop that high temperature tomorrow. I bumped up the temperature for Saturday and Sunday. It should drop tomorrow to like 88. But if we fall a little short of 90, I don't think that will be a surprise, especially if you have clouds and rainfall. That was a good point, though, that Lisa brought up, though. I got ready for work today, came into work. It was about like 1 o'clock. And it had been raining at my house most of the morning. It was more light stuff. I didn't really have the heavy stuff. But boy, I tell you, I walked outside. It was like an instant sauna. I was like, oh. Outside. The rain was like hot. It was gross. Hated it. It's terrible. And then, I should tell this story. If anybody has and lives in Northwest Huntsville, and they have a cute little gray dog, I hope that you found your dog today, because I was at my house going to leave for work, and this little gray dog came up my driveway, and she was scared. You could tell she was older. And then she ended up leaving, and I couldn't get her. I couldn't corral her or anything like that. She was not having it. So, but hopefully the owner came out and found her. But she was so cute. So cute. Lisa says, thank you, Jeff. I will be back. I'm drinking coffee, too. It's a coffee night, Lisa. It's weird because and you all know I usually work mornings, but when I fill in for Brad, I work at nights. And the swing back and forth, like morning, night, and doing both, I can't get a good sleeping pattern. So sometimes when the tiredness hits, I go to coffee right away. That's how I was today. I didn't get to take a nap, too, because I had enough thunder at the house today that my little Rubble was not having it. So there was no napping at the house today. Sky, she slept all day. Rubble was a freak. So I couldn't take that like beautiful 1 hour, 2 hour nap before work, and then you come to work and you're a little cranky. No, I'm never cranky, but I really rely on those naps now that I'm older. So I've dedicated myself to coffee tonight, multiple cups to keep me wired and ready to go. Katie Smith says, good evening, Jeff. Finally got some rain today. Yes, Katie, good for you. I was watching the camera. I figured you had some rain. I don't think the really heavy stuff got to you where you live. I know where you live, but I think it's just barely missed south of you. But you still had some rain, though, which is good. I'm glad you're happy about that. That's good stuff. It's so crazy because I know where you live, and areas just south of you have had decent rainfall like the past 6 weeks. It just keeps just missing you. But you got some today, which is good. I'm very happy about that. That's good stuff. All right, 9:47 is the time. Carl is in the house. We have some breaking news at the top of the hour that everybody in the newsroom is getting ready to cover, and we'll have that for you at the top of the hour at 10. I'll keep updates coming on the weather. And downhill from here. The end of the week is upon us, Thursday and Friday. Then the weekend, where you're going to sweat a lot with that 10-day forecast. So join in at 10 o'clock. We'll see you on the air soon. Weather Extra will be back on tomorrow at 9:30. And also tomorrow morning, Jada Russell will be on covering the weather for Eric because he is off the rest of the week. Jada's got you back in the morning. I will be back in for Brad tomorrow night. We got you covered morning and night. We'll track the rainfall, talk more about the heat for the weekend. And Jada will be on bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 4:30 in the morning. So if you watch us at 10 o'clock tonight, then you go to sleep, and you wake up 6 hours later, and you can watch the newscast in the morning again. Have a great night, everybody.